Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's install we'll replace the factory doubled-in radio in this 2006 Acura TSX. Now in this install we're going to show you how to remove the factory radio. We'll head to the bench, show you the parts that we're going to need for the install, including the radio, dash kit, and harness adapter. We'll come back here to get everything installed. Let's get started. Now before we jump into things, one quick thing to note, this install is applicable for this entire generation TSX from 2004 to 2008. Now unfortunately, the way that Acura or Honda designed this radio is a lot of the data and integration of your heating and air controls flow through the radio. So when you replace the radio, you'll lose your heating and air controls, which is why with this specific kit from Metro that we have, it actually replaces your heating and air control unit down here, allowing us to install a doubled-in of our choosing. Now, because we have to replace this panel, it can be a little bit more expensive, but we'll cover that more in detail once we get to the bench. First thing we need to do to get the radio on out is pull off these side panels here. We're going to start with one of these little trim panels and start working this panel loose here. All right, so there's that entire panel. It will expose a Phillips screw on this side. We do the same thing on this side. Now there may be a temperature sensor on this side. We don't really need to remove this side panel. It gives us access to the screw to remove. Next here, we need to pop this out. Kind of get my fingers up underneath it here. We will disconnect our hazard switch. And then it should expose a screw right here at the top. Okay, next here, down below, we do need to pop this lower pocket out. So what I do to do that is I'll put both hands in there. Then I'll make a fist, expand my hands, and use that friction to pop this out all as one piece. That makes that a lot easier to pull out. Now you may have your little light harness connected to it. Okay, lastly here, there's going to be two 5/16 screws going upwards up into the bracket of the radio itself. In order for us to get the radio out, those have to be removed. Now if you want to use something metric, an 8mm does fit. Fit all the way back up underneath. You'll see them facing upwards. Here's one screw. It does have a Phillips head on it, but I mean, it's easy to be stripped out. You could use a short stubby screwdriver. An 8mm deep socket is really the right tool. Now with all those out, we can go ahead and give the radio a tug. We got to unclip it all the way around. Just take your time, don't want to break it. Okay, now at this point we're going to have quite a few harnesses connected to the back of the radio. So take your time, let's start disconnecting. Now most of these harnesses have little tabs that you press in. It's going to release the lock on the harness and then it should pull out. It's an older car, so they may be in there. You're going to have to wiggle them, work them out. Now it looks like a couple of harnesses are connected to the radio with clips. All right, whew! So quite a few harnesses here. But once that's out of the way at this point in time, we can grab our whole radio assembly. We're going to head and take it with us to the bench. And we're going to start showing you the parts that we're going to need to install an aftermarket radio in this factory location. All right, so here at the bench, now the parts that we're using in today's install, first and foremost is the radio customer has chosen to go with. Now this one specifically is a JVC KWM 785BW and includes wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. It's a fantastic solution. It's a quality radio. It's a good unit for the price. Now to install that in the factory location, we do need the specific TSX dash kit like we alluded to within the vehicle. That includes your brand new climate controls. This kit includes the new bezel, which we already have pulled out here. It also includes your new climate control module. This also controls all that data associated with it. Comes with a harness, everything plugs in. And in this kit, it also includes your main wiring harness adapter. Now, it doesn't include the steering wheel control module, which is this Axis piece. It's the Axis ASWC1. It's sold separately, but we can link that separately in the description. It comes pre-pinned with it, so we can literally plug it in if needed. So that's it. This is our parts for our install. What we're going to do is get our radio pulled out, and we're going to grab our harness adapter that's included with the kit. Today we're going to be connecting and assembling our harness. Color for color, we're going to be soldering and heat shrinking those connections, and then we'll turn our attention over to assembly of the dash kit. We do require the vents out of the OEM bezel to fit in here, but outside of that, we'll walk you through the process. All right, so we went ahead and prepped our wire. This is the harness that goes with the radio. This is the harness that's included with our dash kit. Now, for the most part, yes, it will be matching color for color, but oftentimes either manufacturer may switch up the standard wire color, and if you assume automatically that it matches, you may actually make a mistake and cause some damage. So always validate the function of that wire, that it matches function for function in addition to just color for color. Okay, so we soldered all our connections here, and in our case, actually this was color for color. Now the special connections, ones that not necessarily every radio uses, first and foremost is our steering wheel control wire. JVC Kenwoods don't have a 3.5 millimeter wired remote jack input for steering wheel volume controls. You use this blue-yellow wire, and then there's the adapter that comes with your ASWC1. The blue-yellow goes to solid brown. We won't use brown-white. You'd also use this adapter for other brands that don't use the 3.5 millimeter jack, and oftentimes that's no-name brands, Android-based radios. So we'll insulate the other side here. Red wire, we added an extra accessory. We'd like to power backup cameras on accessory if we can, because we can use that camera more than just in reverse. So we added an extra accessory on our red wire, in addition to tying in our power antenna. And then finally here we did ground our parking brake wire, which is this green. Outside of that, that's it. So what we're going to do is now move our heat shrink up and over those connections. We're going to shrink them down with a heat gun. All right, so our harness is all done. Good to go here. We went and taped it up, made it nice and clean. This is the end that goes into our heating and air controls. Now our instructions indicate we do not need the bullet connector, so we'll just leave them there. That'll plug into our heating and air controls. It's our data connection. We also have our an accessory off. We're going to power a backup camera, and this is our amplifier turn-on wire. We left those out. We'll just add some butt connectors to those. But that's it, nice and clean. So we can set our harness off to the side. Now we can turn our attention over to assembly of the dash kit. Next, we're supposed to put on these screws here at the end of each bracket. Next, we attach the radio brackets to the bottom of the bezel. Next, we slide in our radio into the housing. Looks good. Now we'll attach our radio with the supplied screws. Next, we got to take our heating and air vents and transfer them over to the new bezel. Here's our radio assembly. It looks great. All fits in there well. So that's about it for the dash assembly. This goes in separately, but we did put the clips on our heating and air controls. So we are really done here at the bench. What we need to do is grab our harness adapter, heating and air controls, and the radio assembly, head back to the car to get it all installed. All right, so we're back here in the car. We're ready to start getting everything installed. Now, off camera, we mounted our Bluetooth mic on the top of the A-pillar, GPS antenna on the dash, pulled it up into the dash here. We also did that USB and HDMI flash mount adapter in the center console, which is why we pulled this apart just a little bit to pull cables. But more or less, we're really done with all our prep here. Now what we need to do at this point in time is start getting everything connected to our radio. Now, before you go into too far into this, if you're doing a traditional double din that has a full-size chassis, meaning it's like a CD or DVD version of it, you may have to trim the back support in the plastic area here in order for you to have plenty of clearance for the double din to sit flush. Again, if you're doing a full depth double din radio. Our JVC happens to be a shallow chassis radio, doubled in, so there's plenty of clearance here, so we don't have to do any sub-dash trimming. I'll throw up on the screen the areas that you would need to trim. It's basically the little mount there and a little white plastic cross brace that has to come out of the way in order to give you the full depth needed. Again, we're doing a shallow depth. We don't have to do any trimming today. Makes our life a lot easier. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is grab our harness adapter. Now we have quite a few wires and connections in here, but we're gonna plug our harness in. Now we're not gonna use every harness in here because one's like the factory aux, there's XM radio module, there may be a navigation module, there's a couple of connections we're not using in our install. We're gonna tuck our modules and everything down below in the dash. Next here, we're gonna grab our radio and start making our connections. So with all our connections now made, we gotta carefully tuck them back into the dash here. And we also can get to our Axis ASWC1 module for programming. But for now, we'll work on getting everything into the dash. All right. It's in here. Now before we test anything, let's grab our airbag and hazard switch, plug that in. We're gonna grab our heating and air controls, make those connections here. Plug in our harness, like so. Okay, let's tuck it all back in there. Okay, before we button everything up, let's go ahead and do a test.
Now, before you start the vehicle, a couple of things to note. You need to program your kit. Now, you need to ensure that any temperature sensor is reconnected or any harness, or else that may cause the kit not to program correctly. Step one is start the vehicle. Then when it's running, go ahead and press and hold the rear defrost button until the display backlight starts to flash. Release the button, and then it'll continue to flash for about 60 seconds. Don't do anything until it stops flashing. Now, when it stops flashing, text to make sure that all the buttons are working correctly, and if so, you're good to go. If not, refer to step number 7. It'll walk you through how to reflash it to ensure that it works for your vehicle. Any issues with it, you may need to call technical support.
Okay, looks like these all programmed. Perfect. Defroster, great. Check our steering wheel volume controls, volume up, volume down. Now to program your steering wheel volume controls, they're auto programming. So you'll plug in your module after you boot up the radio, and it'll go through a series of flashes. I'll put also the instructions on the screen for your convenience, but more or less that's gonna be what you'll need to program your steering wheel volume controls to the aftermarket radio. Now on the bottom left-hand side, you do have your hang up and your call answer, voice recognition and back. Those are a little bit more difficult to retain. Again, the Metra kit doesn't retain it. You have to tap into the navigation module. There's a module in the passenger side kick panel. And even at that, you may not be able to retain it all. And so those may be a lost cause depending on how in-depth you want to try to get those to function. So just be aware of that. At this point, we got our main buttons all working great, so we can go ahead and do final reassembly of the radio. All right, so playing around with fitment, we do need to put in our heating and air controls first because our dash kit up above sits over the top. We got our screw in here, we got a screw in here, and a screw in the top. Go ahead and snap everything back into place. All right, so we got the radio all back in here. Now we notice our clock no longer works with this kit. The clock is retained by the radio. That's how you set the clock, is through the radio. Since the radio is no longer there, the clock will no longer work. Outside of that, everything's good. We can go ahead and kick on our AC here. It's working fine. Looks really nice. It retains our dual and our auto and everything like that. With the radio itself, got a steering wheel with volume controls to program. Volume up, volume down, which is working great. And at this point in time, we are done with the radio install. Now, if you want to see more what we did on this TSX, we'll link those videos in the description where we did the backup camera, front door speakers, rear deck speakers. We'll link all those in the description at your convenience, along with all the parts that we use in today's install. So check them out. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe to post great content on the channel all the time. We'll see you in the next video.